So I want to play devil advocate because we've been talking about this shit behind the scenes real quick a lot, and everybody their opinion. But I'm just gonna be real quick. Everybody's shitting on Diddy and everything else, but I want to just point out certain things that we don't talk about with this situation from the documentary, right? I'm gonna play some clips from Jaguar Wright. Jaguar Wright is one of the people that has been speaking on Diddy. She speak on Jay-Z. She speaks on a lot of people. If you don't know who she is, I'm pretty sure you do. Everybody calls her crazy. They say she just be talking shit, whatever, whatever. Do I believe that a lot of shit she say? No, it's funny because when you know shit goes on behind the scenes of these industry people, they will make you look crazy in the media. If you real Malcolm X people, bro, y'all know what he said about the media, how the media trick you. And the media, that's why they got PRs and they got people that they want to like. Lauren LaRosa ass be talking about she be calling her inside people, her sources and shit. I don't believe none of them motherfuckers. None of them. Because I'm going to tell you why. Even in the documentary, you see where Diddy was trying to goddamn influence the media, have his lawyers influence the media, have people say certain shit so the narrative will be this, and that, so it influenced the judges. I mean, not judges, sorry, the jury. Everything's a mind game, bro. You gotta just learn, like, once a person get into power and they learn the 48, not even just like, that's why when people see me reading the 48 laws of power, they will always tell me to be careful. And I knew what they meant by that because one, I'm already smart, knowledgeable. And I'm not just saying that just to be saying that, but with being like that, you could turn and use manipulation and being in a position of power. Once you learn how to manipulate people, it can be a dangerous fucking game. And I believe Diddy was just a master at manipulating. But let's get back to the root of this. Where did a lot of this shit start at? We talk about mental health a lot of time and all this shit, but nobody's talking about his childhood and his parent, his mom, or him trying to be live up to his father and shit like that. Mind you, I don't want my kids to live up to my like what I am, because at the end of the day, I want you to be better than me. I feel like I don't feel like Diddy had a lot of people around him that wanted to let him know that what his dad did was wrong. They glorified the shit. You glorify the wrong shit, and a lot of shit that we glorify in hip hop, and Jaguar Wright said some real shit. This wasn't supposed to be hip hop. The shit that we glorify in hip hop, I don't believe that's how it started off. His hip hop started off with a positive message. And I remember Slick Rick because my mom she didn't really listen to rap, let me listen to rap, but she did like the storytelling of Slick Rick. You feel me? So you had a Slick Rick, you had a KRS-One. Hell, even LL Cool J back when he was talking about I need love, just certain messages like that. Even though LL Cool J had his own thing, but you had certain shit in hip hop where it wasn't about us calling our black women out their name. Mind you, if you listen to a lot of songs, I ain't never heard nobody call a Jewish girl no bitch. I ain't never heard them really call no Mexican, no Puerto Rican, no white girls. Like we talk about our females, our queens, our and I I'm very critical of our queen, but I just don't like bullshit. That's all I like. Like, can't nobody like y'all know how I feel about black women. I love a dark skin. Ain't nothing like a black queen. But you gotta call people out, and when it's like call people out on when they bullshit, hold people accountable. That's how I always been. But I'm gonna play this first clip, and then I'm gonna give my opinion on this and reaction off this.
Extreme. He's sitting there with feds, and I shot away from his hotel suite, filming his hotel room, and he's looking at them and he's filming them right back. He's literally saying in certain parts, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this because we need to get some, some cutaway shots.
That's wild. That's wild.
No, he was literally, did nobody pay attention to that?
Oh, I saw it.
Like he said, yeah. Make sure you're filming all of this. We need this for cutaways. Like you're sitting here collecting footage, like a director, like an AD.
Yeah. What does that say to the cameraman that, can anybody be bought, or, he said, the cameraman said he recorded all this for Diddy, and then of course Diddy got locked up. So
Yeah, Diddy got locked up and he didn't get paid.
Yeah,
That see, a lot of people seem to have that experience.
I'm telling you.
Dealing with Combs Enterprise. They come in and they work and they don't get paid.
Oh yeah. Oh, we gonna build up to it real quick.
Yeah,
Uh,
so he was able to sell that footage to whomever he chose. The question is, how did anybody know about it? Like that's the thing. Like that's the part that it's so funny because people they get so excited. But when you've got a lawyer like Mark Agnafilo who is orchestrating your possible surrender, because as you heard him say in the beginning of the documentary, he was very clear. It's almost the middle of September and there's no indictment. As you heard Diddy say, I've been an exemplary client like you've asked. You said I've been an excellent client. I came here. I did everything you asked me to do.
mhm.
That's what they're literally having this conversation.
Yeah, in that conversation, Diddy was worried about the outlook of the public versus the
The
victims and things like.
outlook of the public. Oh, he was worried a lot more than that.
Mhm.
You don't think? He
Oh yeah.
literally sat there and said, we need comms. He's sitting there talking like an evil dictator. We need comms. We need a way into this conversation. We're losing, he said. We're losing. Losing what?
Come on.
What are you losing? But the key words that he said that were so important were, we need to be able to be speaking to the potential jurors.
Mm.
He said, you might only be the guy that watches CNN, but there's 9 billion people in the world, and 7 billion of them are on Instagram or TikTok. We need to have control of that. He said, we need to know how these potential jurors are thinking.
So that was one of the things I was telling you about when I said manipulation and power, and Big D being in this predicament for so long of being in power and everybody needing him, everybody feeling like they got to go through Diddy to be the star or be that person. You feel me? So he didn't got used to the power and all this shit, man. And the problem I have with Diddy is, bro, you use your own people to better yourself and you shit it on your own people. And then when you get at your lowest, that's when you want to come back down. Don't come back asking me for a motherfucking thing. Like the girl Kalani, whatever her name from Dirty Money, I apologize, but you asking her to give you a statement about what Don put in her lawsuit, but when Shorty needed money for her goddamn for her kids and a 5K, you couldn't do it. That's what I be saying. Don't do shit like that to me. And Shorty, she stayed silent and still did it. She didn't have to do it. Really didn't have to do it. Now, mind you, I do think a lot of people were money driven by this documentary, but I was having this conversation with my homie and Jared, and I was telling him 50 is not the face. 50 is the face of this documentary, but this ain't his documentary. 50 be just executive producing. He just be like he's the face of this shit. Even if you go back to Power, he was never the producer. He didn't make this shit. Like that was some. It was a lady. It was a black lady behind this shit, and that's what we not talking about, y'all. We talking about 50 killing the black man, but it's a black woman who put this shit out. I can go. Let me go. Let me get this lady name because I don't want nobody thinking I'm bullshitting right now. So I'm gonna pull this shit up real quick. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this other goddamn video
Because
while I pull it up.
even if it's not all in his name, even if it isn't all him. Even if it were all in his mother's name, then that would mean that his mother is the one that's running the criminal organization, and she's been aiding and abetting his very sick behavior for decades.
Hey,
It sounds like they should have made sure that she was added to everything. If
hey,
that's the case. Because if he's just an employee and he's just being paid for his services, then that means that all of this stuff was going on up underneath her nose, and there's no way she didn't know about it. She was
hey.
involved and present for too much of it. Like there's a lot of games being played, a lot of games being played, and there's no way that the federal government is just so green that they missed all of this. I mean, this is the same federal government that went after Al Capone, and even when they couldn't go after him legitimately for all of the things that they knew that he did. By the way, let's talk about that little historical fact. Part of the reason why they couldn't go after Al Capone the way that they went after at him in the beginning was because of all of the corruption, was because of the ledger with all of the judges' names who had been being paid off to throw cases, to turn their heads, all of the police precincts that were working in tandem with Al Capone. They didn't want to tank the government's involvement in all of the corruption. So instead, they went after him for income tax. So this way, they could stack up the years and put him in jail forever without having to expose any of the government. Wasn't that cute?
Hey, they run the system.
I'm just saying that's history. That's
That's
that's a
facts.
historical fact.
No, these are facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people they don't know how a recording Diddy
I'm
not being able to,
I'm sorry, you
or
broke up
not
a little
not
bit. I
saying not
couldn't
being
hear
able,
you.
but Diddy not paying Biggie correctly. Diddy not paying all of his artists on Bad Boy. As far as them saying that, hey, he was shining and all the all the artists were not winning. Craig Mack, his wife saying like, "Hey, we were broke technically, and he had a number one record." How does the average recording contract work? Like, an average recording contract where someone like a Diddy comes with, "Hey, we're signing you to Bad Boy." How does an advance work? How does the recoupment work? For those that don't know,
First things first, how it should work is you should have a lawyer that's working in your best interest. That's number one. I mean, my first attorney before I switched over to a Jewish attorney, Brad Rubin, I was using James Elam, who was African American, and James Elam and I fought for everything that we could get because they work very hard to keep it from you. They work very hard to keep everything from you, to keep every dollar from you, to get over on you as much as possible. That's why you need to have some kind of understanding of entertainment law, or make sure you have a lawyer that's proficient in it and that speaks it fluently. Everyone knew those bad boy contracts were terrible. Everyone knew they were getting screwed over. What they were hoping for was that they were going to be able to make it to the next phase of something where they would finally get something. Like it's all a carrot being dangled. Did you not hear what Bab said? That was probably the goofiest commentary that I heard in that entire, I took it to my lawyer and my lawyer went over and he said, well, they're offering you fame, but they're just not offering you fame and fortune. The lawyer literally sat there and said to her, if you sign this contract, the only thing you're going to be is famous. You're going to get robbed. And she said, I signed it anyway. It's Bad Boy.
yeah, that was wild.
That's beyond wild.
She only had 24 hours to sign. Like,
That's
him.
beyond wild. That's beyond wild. Like you literally were told you're going to get robbed if you sign this thing, and she signed it anyway for the fame. And now she just spends her time with YouTubers trolling. Kind of like Roxanne. Roxanne Mack Johnson, Craig Mack's widow, because she was still legally married to him when he passed away. Did you know she's a YouTuber as well?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I thought it was so interesting that they had her in there. I mean, the reference in which they put her in there, I guess, it made sense for her to be talking about it because of what they were talking about. That I didn't have a problem with. The question is did anybody not bother? Because they could have went to a bunch of other people to got that same information. Like this is a woman. Did that woman? Ooh, she came after me, right?
I didn't know uh, that this is Craig Mack's widow.
Yeah.
So
They
technically,
put ex-wife, but she's actually his widow. That's how she was able to get her hands on what royalties she could after he passed away, and she was finally able to get her children back because she had lost custody of her children to him. Yeah.
yeah, it was her, and then I believe Tisa Tells. I was interested that they put
Yeah,
them
that they
on
were
the.
included. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was kind of wild. That was kind of wild. It was just so funny because I'll never forget when Roxanne first was hunting me down on behalf of the troll farm. She couldn't get to me because I wasn't responding to any of her messages. She had been trying to get to me, trying to get to me. She kept trying to buy her way into my life, pay her way into my life, sending me money, trying to like sending $1,000 cash apps. Then she started going through Nosy Ho Live because she wanted me to come forward with a story. Guess what the story was?
Never ever sue the driver who crashed into you after a car accident.
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna say this on this point too that I forgot to mention before I start looking. Hip hop went out the road. I mean, hip hop lost everything that it really stood for when these people, these record labels who own private jails, start getting involved and needed money, needed ways to fill the jails up more. And I'm gonna do a whole different episode on that. I ain't gonna really sue, but I got a few videos on that too from different people that was in the industry, people that y'all know that speak on these private owners. I mean, private or these record labels with these private jails, that these shit that we glorify and how they make our money, bro. They making their money off our fucking up people contracts, life insurance, taking out life insurance on these people, and them ending up in jail where they own these fucking jails. So they are just tripling their fucking money, and we're allowing this shit, bro. Now I'm gonna speak on this part on this uh the Bab situation. That was dumb as shit, bro. If you knew the contract was bad and you still talking about it's bad, boy, you deserve what you fucking get. And that's why I say with that documentary, I get what a lot of people be like, bro, it's pointless because a lot of y'all stood around for the longest for a check and thinking that you was gonna get the check or thinking you was gonna. I want to know really this was these people really victims or they knew what the fuck they was doing and they stood down for the longest. They stayed down, and when shit got bad, now they want to start talking about certain shit more because they need the money. If Diddy had paid them, would they be talking about this? If Diddy didn't go through the shit he went through with the alcohol people, would any of this shit had came out? Because we, like I said, bro, and they said in the document, Diddy been doing this shit for a long time, bro. The city college shit thing happened when I was young, and we talking about this shit now, bro. I'm 35. I've been hearing about Diddy parties for years. I've been hearing about that shit for years, bro. I've been hearing about Diddy doing crazy shit for years. You feel me? Like all this shit, bro. The jealousy and stuff. And a lot of people talking about, this, right? And this is what I my homeboy put me on to this, right? And they talking about the women that Diddy stole from these dudes, right? But ain't nobody talking about the women actually went with Diddy and they stood around and they had kids with this nigga. Ain't nobody tell these females to leave the people they was with. Ain't nobody tell them to leave Eric, leave Justin mama, Justin Cone mama, Misty, whatever her name is. The first baby mama Diddy got, she left Eric. Why? Kim left Al B. Shore. Actually, Kim used to date Dallas Austin. They from Columbus. That's how they started. Don't nobody talk about that shit. This shit goes deep. Like it's a trail of shit that people don't even fucking know about. Dallas Austin and Kim was grew up together. They was in Columbus, Georgia, and all this shit. They started off in the industry together. They started. Then I guess all that shit. She went to Albie Shore and all that shit went happen. But it was Kim. Then you got Sarah. Sarah used to date Tupac. She ended up having a baby by him. You get what I'm saying? All these females came to Diddy. You feel me? And they stood around. Now, mind you, they might have been afraid. They might it might have been shit down to it, but then that's understandable. Everybody, whatever. Like I was telling my home, but I don't get into domestic violence shit no more because I've been in this shit before, where you try to protect the female and you putting your life on the line, and they go right back to fucking that nigga the same night. I'm not getting involved with none of that shit no more. You gotta be careful, bro. Like manipulation is a crazy thing, but you gotta want to leave. You gotta want to fight to leave. A lot of these people, I'm just, I don't. You could play David advocate when you do this shit, bro. And it's like that's why I'm saying you gotta look at it like this: are they trying to just tear down this man, or are they really victims? Do they just want the money, or do they really want people to know their story and really want to help people? Uh, Jaguar Wright was talking, and I don't know if I played the video yet. What Aubrey, this lady had wrote, this lady had wrote a letter to Aubrey out of Danny King, and saying that allegedly a bodyguard and Diddy molested her or whatever while she was, drugged up, whatever. But she didn't really want to know. She didn't want to remember. Now you can play devil advocate with this. You just don't want those demons, or you don't want to relive the past, which some of us don't, or it's a motive behind it where you don't want it. You don't really care. You just wanted the money, and you don't really care because I feel like if Aubrey, the way Aubrey used to talk about Diddy and the way she used to, I would think Aubrey would be trying to spill every fucking thing she know. Cause I'm pretty sure it's a lot more that these motherfuckers do know and whatever, but they're not saying. Uh, they didn't really have everybody that was in like that new Diddy or whatever behind like that really could have went deeper in it because I believe they could have went a lot deeper. I know a lot more shit from just watching the other interviews on Art Dialogue and all these other people. And when I used to watch Vlad and all that shit, like I've been hearing about all this shit and been knowing about it. So a lot of this shit, like I said, wasn't new to me. Um, the producer I was telling y'all about, her name is Alexandria Stapleton. Alexandria Stapleton may be a new name to many who are discovering her following the release of the Netflix Sean Combs, the racketeering, which she directed and executive produced. But she's hardly a newbie to the industry. Stapleton is a director producer whose career spans more than 15 years. Across the time, she exposed subjects across sports, music, pop culture, and social justice. Before she collabed with Curtis 50 Cent Jackson on the smash hit documentary about the rapper and music mogul Cone, she directed an episode of the three-part HBO documentary God Save Texas. I ain't never heard about that. Home, her home state in the Paramount doc How Music Got Free, which she produced with Spring Hill and Eminem. Some of her documentary subjects she explored including Roger Coleman, Reggie Jackson, and Chelsea Handler. Um, we spoke to Jackson, who sings Stapleton praise for her work on Sean Combs, the racketeering, in their working relationship. For example, she would show footages she was working on, and he would have shared insight into what was going on in the world of hip hop at that time. Netflix released the documentary on Tuesday, December 2nd. Deadline caught up with Stapleton the following day, just shortly after the streamer confirmed that the project had hit number one, where it has remained and spread it to the top of the charts globally. All four parts of the documentary are available to stream now. So this is Alexandra Stapleton is very surreal, very surreal. I need to believe 50, whom I told that I feel very blessed to be in the top 10. I woke up this morning to my phone going crazy, and I was like, wow, it's a testament to our amazing team that put this together because we worked so hard and to the voice we spotlight as well. Now, what's this? Would you say this proves their hunger for programming like this and for your approach to keep the story balanced? I'm just starting to reflect on it because it's just been nuts. I think this was the only documentary that was made by people from the culture. 50 and I, this is our culture, the culture of hip hop. Being a black woman making a film like this, I took the opportunity very seriously. We wanted to make something for people like us, but that could also speak to a broader audience. What broader fucking audience? Like, are you speaking to us, or are you trying to downplay, or you trying to destroy this man to us? Like, I'm not even gonna really read the rest of that. Well, no, man, I don't know who on here, so I'm gonna read it. With the viewership, we wanted to make something for people. Okay, with the viewership being that what it is crossing barriers, which was our goals. I'm hearing reaction from people who say that they didn't know about a lot of the stuff we covered, or who even really knew much about who Combs is. Not to knock outsiders making things, because that can be an incredible experience, but I think the nucleus, some of the details were overlooked in past projects because those involved weren't really concerning the culture. Who the fuck needs to be concerned about the culture other than the people inside the culture? So this goes back to what a lot of black people are saying, that they're using this to tear down another black man. I get that part. That's the only part I hate. But then you go be Devin advocate and say that Diddy did this shit to himself. Ain't nobody tell him to do none of this shit to us. And Diddy, like, I get both sides. Two things can be right. To me, at the end of the day, it's all look like some bullshit that we're doing in front of these people. Mind you, none of this shit really even matters because there's a lot of shit that's really going on in this world that this is just part of our distraction. Like, it's a lot more shit that's really going on in politics right now that I'm probably get on later on this week. But like I said, this should just be a distraction. And I just wanted to show that it wasn't just 50 behind this, it's a black lady behind this too. And we always, as black males, get shitted on. But I'm getting tired of this shit, bro. Like, it don't just be us. It's a group collective in this motherfucker. And to me, right, if you're gonna use Diddy and you're gonna tell his story and shit on him, you need to shit on Andre Harrell black ass some more because he ain't innocent, and you need to shit on Clive Davis. Now Clive Davis, I'm gonna do a research and I'll do a shit on him because that's the motherfucker who had the money. That's the motherfucker who got them. These people right here we don't talk about. We'll never talk about the white people. We'll never talk about the record label. We'll never talk about these motherfuckers who literally, I know 9 times 10 help. How can I say this? They help groom Diddy. They help groom Andre Harrell until these people that they are. A lot of these people do be child molesters. Like, don't nobody talk about Clyde. Clyde Davis been behind a lot of shit. I still want to know why he threw that party, kept that party going when Whitney Houston was dead. So there's a lot of shit that people don't talk about, but we love to make documentaries about the culture and the goddamn our people and shit. But we don't want to talk about the people who's funding the culture. That be the biggest thing, bro. Like, are we talking about the people that's funding the culture? Because Diddy didn't have no money to fund this shit. He didn't have Bad Boys after he got fired. It was it was Clyde Davis, and then you got his bodyguard, Wolf. Wolf also paid. I think he paid 300K into Bad Boys, helping Bad Boys, like get started and shit. So you got that person, but Clyde Davis was the one who gave the majority of the money and got everything started. And Clyde Davis was behind a lot of this shit too. And Clyde David, I know. So like, let me go into this real. And I ain't gonna say his name because that's like, you know what I mean. Like, I ain't gonna say bro name. I got a partner who has been to a Clyde Davis party and been to Diddy party. So when I speak on certain shit, bro, it's only because I literally know, and I've been around this industry shit a lot just since a young kid. With you having your, seeing certain shit, your sis taking you around certain shit growing up. You seen a lot of shit. I've seen a lot of shit. I don't have to get into everything, but when my bro literally broke down and showed me videos, tapes, pictures of just certain shit, bro, that be going on behind the scenes. Once this shit comes to the light, I'm just speaking on shit I already knew about. That's why I go so like I be so confident in certain shit. Now I'm not always right, but I already knew a lot of this shit, bro. These niggas are not innocent, bro. And a lot of shit that goes behind, they just use PR. They use their PR team to fix it in the media. That's why I don't like certain shit in the media, because they be just covering up what really be going on. They be just covering this shit up, bro. So you gotta not also blame the people that knew about what the fuck was going on with Diddy. You gotta blame the media too. People that he used to pay off for this shit, that covered up this shit. We don't talk about the people that get paid off. That be the problem. We like to down the other people, like down the person Diddy, but we not talking about the people who knew about this shit and who kept going back and kept accepting it. Like Lil Rod, bro. I be wanting to like have sympathy for some of these people, but my nigga, if you woke up saw one night and kept going back for these other nights, how am I supposed to have sympathy for you, dog? What day did your ass stop hurting that you just felt like, okay, I'm ready to talk about this shit, I'm done? Like what day, my nigga? Because at the end of the fucking day, bro, if you kept going back and you said many of days it might have been Diddy waking up to you or it might have been a female, apparently you kept going back. Ain't that much amount of money that I was not stand for something for as far for anything, dog. And if anybody that's worked with me, y'all know I don't just accept air and everything. I've had jobs offer me the top manager positions and everything for more money, and I still wouldn't take it. Cause I know what comes with certain shit. Money is the rule. Like we say, real money is the rule of evil, but stupid motherfuckers with money is the rule of evil. Because you never know what a person mindset might change. Money will show you a true person color, because now they're able to navigate and move around in certain situations that show you who they truly are. But I'm gonna play this last video and get the fuck up out of here, because I've been on here an hour and a half and I can't believe that.
Likes to put up the same hand symbol that the sororities and the fraternities like to use. I'm not going to emulate it because you know exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
The pyramid sign that Diddy was wearing that around his neck. You want to know what I found funny? That there were a bunch of YouTubers that were at that courthouse that were wearing that same, it was a much smaller version, but that same symbol.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, and that's the part of this story that makes it possible for people, I think, to graze over the reality of all that's going on. If you just look at it from the salacious celebrity stuff, from pop culture media, so-called this new media, and I'm really not liking that term, this new media, because what it really sounds like is the name of a gang. Like the media is media. Because I'm looking at the people that are falling under it, and they're all the same people that are involved with, creating these propaganda campaigns. But that's exactly what Diddy was saying at the beginning of the documentary. We need somebody that is proficient, or fluent in being able to spin propaganda and narratives. We need social media. I guess that new media, is that what that is? Like it's, if you only look at it from the face value aspect of it, that's one thing. But if you look to the spiritual side of it, it's completely different. It unveils a much deeper agenda, because for those who, You know, it's funny. People like to talk about God and they like to throw God's name around and they like to talk about their religious and they like to talk about this and they like to talk about that. But then they don't want to acknowledge the spiritual warfare aspect of all of this that's involved. Because if you're only looking at this as freaky behavior and this, that, and the other, then that's perfectly fine. But if you take it and you flip it on the other side and you look at it as spiritual warfare, it casts a much bigger net and a much bigger light on everything. You can't just put it all on Diddy. You can't.
So let me ask you, Aubrey O'Day, she reads the transcript and the testimony in which someone seen her,
An affidavit,
the
yeah,
affidavit. I'm sorry,
yeah.
someone seen her and Diddy with another, bodyguard or whoever, getting essayed in a room. And at the end of at the end of the affidavit that she reads, she looks at it like she doesn't want to know if that was true or not. And if she goes after the person and say it was lies, that means it discredits everyone else who has filed lawsuits. But if she does go after the person and find out it was true, then that's just a memory she doesn't want because she doesn't remember none of it. Um, how many stories do you feel like that are happening in the industry? And what are your thoughts on her saying that, as far as saying, I'd rather just sweep that part of my life under the rug?
That was hard to watch. That was hard to listen to. And I'm going to do my best to try to be as respectful to her as I possibly can. But that's the exact attitude, the attitude that she's expressing regarding now. That's the same attitude that made it possible for that to allegedly happen to her. See, that's the thing. The very thing that she don't want to deal with, that she don't want to acknowledge, that she don't want to remember, the people that came before her that didn't say anything, that's what made it possible for that to happen to her.
Yeah.
So for her to say that and know that all of this is going on, really what you're saying is you don't give a damn who else it happened to. You don't give a damn about who else it could happen to. What you care about is that you're not looked at as this broken thing that got ran through by this animal. That's really what it's saying. And the thing is, and that was the part, her testimony was the worst of all because the affidavit wasn't something that when she was looking to file a suit, because don't forget, she has legal representation because at one point in time, she was considering filing a suit, and now all of a sudden, it's looking like her legal representation is to protect her from having to say certain things or having to be involved in certain things. It's looking like.
Man, like, why even go through all this and all that shit? Like, they didn't even have to put that shit. If she didn't want to even go into all that, why read that shit off? Like, why even do all that with the letter and everything? Because if you on here and the message is to get to show people to come out and you're a victim of SA and everything, you didn't. I don't feel like that documentary gave the victims no hope to come out. Like, if they're going through that, like, I don't see that, like that's why I say, bro, you got to be careful when you're doing certain shit and everything, because you don't know what the fuck that can backfire. You don't know how, like, if you're gonna come out, you gotta be able to take what comes with and without it. And are you doing it for the money, or are you doing it to spread a message for this shit won't happen to nobody else? Everybody agenda ain't the same, bro. And you like, and I get that. That's why I said I'm playing devil advocate right here with this shit, because I get what a lot of my people were saying when they was like 50 just doing this shit for the white man. And if you ever read 50 book, uh Hustle Hard, what is it? Hustle Hard, Hustle Smart, or some shit like that I read. I understood how he set up his business, how he set up his friends and shit like that, how he looks at business, how he don't look at business as a street nigga. And that's what a lot of us try to do. We try to put the same codes and regulations that we apply in the streets to business. And once he crossed over to business, he don't look at it like his business. And he's petty. That motherfucker, once you become an enemy, he trying to kill you off. He do the shit to his own son. So what you think he gonna do to somebody that ain't related to him? So I know what to expect from that type of person. Mind you, you gotta understand, all right, I can only deal with this person at a certain extent or a certain support. Is he wrong? Like, is he wrong or right? It all depends on who you are. Because I don't know. I feel like a lot of people feel like you just bringing them down because you fucked your baby mama. You're not bringing light to this situation because it's victims in it. Because I can be really sure that it was a lot more, and there's like a lot more people that's probably behind this shit that are victim. And what the fuck is Francois Bentley at, bro? That's who the fuck need to have a documentary. That nigga went ghost. After he left Diddy, we ain't hear nothing, bro. There must have been some crazy shit that went down with Diddy. For this nigga just went ghost. I think he had one little thing, make gentlemen out of street niggas on shit. But that nigga went literally ghost. And I remember seeing his retarded ass on the making of band with that umbrella and all that shit. But we used to see Francois Billy all the fucking time. And then you talking about a nigga that went ghost, that nigga pulled another mace. You gotta be, and that's why I say about Diddy, you gotta be some type of Satan and devil, boy, for niggas just to go ghost on a motherfucker. Niggas will literally, after they started dealing with Diddy, look at Loon. Loon became Muslim. Went to jail, came Muslim. Now it could have been because of that, or it could be shit that he seen with Diddy. But either they gonna go through some shit or they gonna go to religion when they dealing with Diddy. So I'm telling you right now, that tells me that they ain't seen some shit that it went down. It's a lot more that we ain't gonna never know about. It's a lot more shit that's on them tape that I believe that the government might be behind that they know about. Because you can't tell me that it was just all black. All these people that we Diddy and fucked over, and you tell me you want no white people in this shit. He just love white people. He ain't fuck over no white people, bro. Wasn't no white people in this shit. Wasn't nobody else in this shit. But we will kill our own race, except for Aubrey. But I don't even look at her like she might be a little. She whatever. But she to me, and see, this is why I gotta be. You gotta be careful with certain people. Diddy a Scorpio. You can't be flirting with a Scorpio in certain type of ways. Cause Scorpio's mindset is different, but you don't know. You get a type A, you got a type A and a type B. I tell people all the time, it's a type A and it's a type B to these Scorpios. You don't know who the fuck you gonna get when you're dealing with us. A lot of us is off the chain. Feel me? And like Jaguar Wright would say, this shit has a lot to do with a lot of spiritual stuff, a lot of stuff. Me and my bro was just talking about this. He hit me up this weekend, Chris, about just people not understanding words and how words are like spells. Like you could do like the English word, English translation has been written in so many different spells in wicked ways that we don't even see. That I really want to have a break. I really want to do this shit with him. That nigga been so busy lately because he like we always talking about shit like this behind the scene. But I'm gonna do my own little video on this because she was talking about the little pyramid shit, and I seen it in the video or whatever, and she also talking about the Greeks. I have these videos where I found